Hello and welcome back to Quicks14Blog. Quicks14 here on my main, once again getting into raid content. I am part of a wonderful guild that is basically just getting into raiding. We're a casual raiding guild is what we're after, and we're still trying to get situated and things figured out and everything. And this was wonderful to get into. We decided to do Obsidan Sanctum first, and that's what we're looking at here. As you can surely see, as we're fighting the first mini-boss here. Now, these clips are a little scattered because of the recording time, so you're going to see changes here and there. You're also going to see a little resolution change because this was just before I switched over near the end, so don't freak out about the resolution change. I just want to make you aware of it. These mini-bosses are very interesting. Basically, they open portals that bring out ads, and you have the option to go in those portals, a group to go in those portals, which will take damage over time, so you definitely got to have a healer in there in order to destroy those ads instead of letting them come through the portal and attack you. It's very important, those little blue areas that you see on the ground there, that if it's on you or near you, get out of it. It does damage and it hurts and it's not a good idea. These guys really aren't that hard as long as you're coordinated and paying attention. Once you've done it the first few times, you shouldn't have a problem. Obsidan Sanctum isn't too bad at all. It's definitely one of the easier 10-man raids in Northrend. It's also not that bad because it's fairly small for a raid. It's basically just one big gigantic cavern with lava, and with the main boss in the middle and all the mini bosses on the side. You definitely want to clear all the trash and all the other bosses before you go after the big bad guy here. Otherwise they will all aggro you. Now, this video I'm going to show you here first is an actual wipe. I've tried to show you as much video as I can here, but for time reasons I don't want to spend too much time on Obsidan Sanctum, so I can get into next content that we've done. So I'm going to show you as much today. This was our one of our very many wipes. We've actually only downed her once, this dragon, so you will see that as well, and that's what the focus is going to be on here. As you can see, there's these wonderful flame waves that come across every now and then again. Having deadly boss mods or bigwigs, I'm using bigwigs here, and it comes in huge handy. But to help keep you aware of when to look, I would suggest completely zoom out of as far as you can to give you a better view, so you can look when bigwigs or deadly boss mods lets you know that, hey, here comes the wave, and you can easily look either way and see it with ample time to move. The nice thing is, for druid healers and the like, it's not a huge deal because you don't need to turn back around in order to shoot or fire. You can pretty much watch one side and then you can just quickly turn around and look at the next. Of course, if you're not a healer and you are doing DPS, whatever, it can be interesting. The only one that should be hitting the fire or the flames will probably be the tank. So if you are a healer, one of the healers, and if you're a dedicated healer to the tank, you definitely got to keep your eye on him. Keep a lot of hots on him when waves are getting ready to come. That way, if you got to move far enough away, you can do that. It's also important to remember that not only do you take damage when you're hit by these waves, but spawns are going to come out, so you're going to need an off tank. And as you can see here, we're falling apart near this end, which was unfortunate because we were getting really close. And yeah, we just wiped here. It happens. It's not a huge deal. Expect it to happen quite a bit, especially if it's your first time. You know, die and learn. That's basically how it goes. Wiping happens, especially in raids. You know, especially first times. But it's not a big deal. We've always had a blast doing this. We don't let wipes get us down, and it's just so much more satisfying when you do that. You keep pounding at it, you keep doing at it, you get better at it, and then bam, you get them. And that's what this is. This footage is all down footage. And this is not in its entirety, because what we decided to do, instead of burning her down, because she really doesn't have an enrage timer like most bosses at this level do. So we pretty much took our time in order to avoid waves and burn down the ads. We focused on her. So what we did is we had our tank here take her to the far right corner, as you can see, and that's where he's going to be, and he's going to get hit by waves a bit, but that's okay. It allowed the rest of us time to focus on the waves and staying on them. We tried to call them out in vent, as much as possible. But even that's not 100% things. You really need to have Death of Boss Mode for bigwigs and be aware in order to do this properly. As you can see, I got this one down, and it helped a lot. Focusing on your healings, manas, especially if you're on raid heals, do your best to keep everyone healed. Because especially the DPS, because it's gonna be a long fight anyway if you do it this way. We're pretty under geared here as well. Most of us still have leveling gear. Some of us have a few heroics gear, and that's about it. So this was a long fight for its time, but it was so satisfying to watch her go down. As you can see, I'm having people die, and I'm like, oh my gosh, didn't look good here, but we recovered nicely. We have a tendency to recover pretty well, and I believe this shows in next. And like I said before, I will try my best to show you as much footage as possible, especially in next. You're gonna see the wipes along with the downs as much as possible, because I want people to see that this takes practice, and this you don't just go in there and one-shot stuff, though it can happen, as you'll see as well. But this was our first real raid, and our first major raid boss down, and our first clear. So this was pretty special for the guild, especially as we're just getting started and really getting into it. It was exciting for me because I came in here to fill in for healer role, because we needed a healer, and of course my wife usually was doing this, but they needed the extra healer, so I went ahead and came in to do it, because we're still pretty short on healers. And by all means, if you're interested in joining our guild and helping out in our new raid content here as we're getting started, I have a link on my blog to the guild website. By all means, go to it, check it out, and apply. I would love to see you on there, and of course you'll find yourself recorded if you're in the guild and in the raids. So by all means, as you can see, we're getting so close. A couple dead, not a big deal. We're doing okay. Mainly this is a tank and spank. As long as you got a healer up and a tank up and some DPS, because you're gonna need at least a couple tanks and DPS, because you're gonna have ads probably from somebody hitting the flames, and I believe they do spawn normally anyway. So, but yeah, if you get hit by the flames, not only will you take damage and get pushed back, but flames of these little flame guys that you can see will spawn from the waves and attack you. So it's important to have an off tank pick them up as they spawn, get them off many people, and tank them and take care of them, while still being aware of the fire, the flame waves. This is a coordinated fight, and it's good practice. I suggest everyone who's getting into raiding for the first time, if you're in your guild, looking into it, has some 80s and want to go do it, or if you're looking in pugging raids or whatever, do this one first. Not only is it easy to get into and it's not that hard, but it's good practice for coordination, especially in here, and it gives you a chance to see what's coming up, because a lot of these raid fights, as you're going to see, there's a big pattern of coordination, and you really got to be coordinated. Some more than others, and this one you just need to be attentive and pay attention and do your job. If you do that, then you won't have a problem. In other fights, it's a little more complicated than that, but all in all, a ton of fun, and to watch this dragon go down after so much was just freaking awesome. And there he goes, so close. Oh, we can taste it now. And there it is. Oh, that was freaking awesome. I was so happy to see him down. That was just amazing and awesome. By all means, if you're not in our guild, but you are interested in raiding, we always have spots to fill usually. As like I said, we're still getting started, so not everyone is available. We're still getting our schedule set up, so we pug when needed. To fill certain spots. We prefer to find people on our friends list. So if you're interested in pugging with us for these raids and actually contributing and stuff, get a hold of guild members and pug with them for heroics and other things we might run to show your worth and show that you're serious. And if you're good and you help out and everything, we'll add you to our friends list and gladly send you an invite if we need someone of your caliber and your spec. So as you can see, there's all the loot, awesome loot. That bag is freaking sweet. I didn't get nothing out of this, unfortunately, but still it was a ton of fun. And of course, we'll be back. That's all for now. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and spread the word. Look for more raid content soon.